Hey guys, welcome back to another video. 7stop here. Today I'm going to be talking about my experiences in Japan because I just got back a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about all the fun things I did and my experiences and what I'm going to do going forward with Japanese. It's kind of like a life update, but I think it'll be interesting. Alright, so before we jump right into it, I just wanted to make some announcement, obligatory stuff like you guys should join my Discord server. I have a Discord server. We have a vibrant community, regular voice calls, things like that. I have an Instagram. I just thought I'd announce this in the video. I have an Instagram. I post on there sometimes, so I'll put links and stuff in the description. I have a Patreon as well if you want to give me money to help improve my setup and stuff like that. And I'm definitely planning on making more videos in the future. I know I haven't been super active, but I'm definitely going to be making more videos and guides and stuff that will help people out. And I also make tools. I'm using my computer science and knowledge and stuff to make tools. So I made an Anki add-on for inserting Japanese example sentences. It's kind of limited because it only works with the new Anki and with Qt6. But I'm trying to bring back some of the functionality of the old Migaku add-on. I'm going to slowly be making add-ons for like inserting Japanese audio and things like that as well. So look forward to me making more tools and stuff for learning Japanese. And then fourth, like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'm interested to see your thoughts and opinions on everything I talk about. So to get right into it, as you can see from the thumbnail, I actually met Matt vs. Japan. I'll talk about that a little bit, and I did a lot of other things. I went to Tokyo, Osaka, Hiroshima, and I visited some other places like Yamanashi just for a little bit, but spent most of my time in Tokyo and Osaka, so the big cities.
I love Asian bitches.
As you may have already known if you've seen my other videos, I went to Japan last year for the first time, so this isn't my first time in Japan. But although it wasn't my first time in Japan, this experience changed my perspective, my life, and my goals in a lot of different ways. Experience that was truer to what Japan was actually like, probably what it would be like to live in Japan to some extent, without like the annoying stuff like paperwork and working and stuff like that. But in terms of the environment, I wasn't really doing any tourist activities. Like last time I was more of a tourist, traveled around, looked at famous places, went to Mount Fuji, things like that. But this time I was really just there for the social experience, speaking Japanese, talking to people, meeting my friends, having fun. Not that I didn't do any touristy activities, but really it was a lot different. Very different vibe from last time, but it was a great experience. I met a lot of people, and I decided that I want to move to Japan. So that's going to be my goal going forward. I am planning to move to Japan. Now, if you see my other videos, you might know, but I'm studying computer science at a college. I go to Arizona State University. I don't care if you know that. You can come hunt me down or dox me or whatever, feel free. I'm going to be graduating in like 2.5 years, the current schedule. But when I graduate, I do intend to go to Japan. And I'll definitely be visiting Japan a lot in the meantime. So this winter, I do actually plan to go back to Japan. And summer, I don't have any plans to go back, but I'm going to be looking into getting an internship in Japan, potentially next summer. Well, I'm going to be applying to a lot of different internships. And if I could get one in Japan, that might be nice. And I have some other friends who are also interested in this idea, so I'd like to try that, shoot my shot, see how it goes. In terms of the Japanese girlfriend, I know I talked about Japanese girlfriend in a previous video, but we broke up, so I don't want to hear about that anymore. But since I got back from Japan, I feel really motivated to work on all skills, all aspects of my life, not just my Japanese. And so I did see a noticeable improvement in my Japanese when I was there. I'm still using Japanese every day. I still immerse every day. I talk to people fairly often in Japanese. Just yesterday, I talked to like 20 or 30 Japanese people at a couple events at my school. But I'm not really actively focused on Japanese as much anymore. I really want to improve my life skills and work skills and things like that will help me actually get a job in Japan, or get to Japan. Well, the easier route would to just get married in Japan, but I gotta work, I gotta get a job, and you can't count on that anyway, so the main thing I did in Japan this time was meeting people, talking to people on the street, drinking with people in Shibuya, that kind of stuff. I got a lot more social confidence. I started just being able to go up to people and talk to them really easily, and I definitely felt like my Japanese has improved a lot. I feel so much more comfortable speaking Japanese. And if I lived in Japan, I would be, even more comfortable. But at the current moment, even just coming back to America for a little bit, I definitely feel like my Japanese has dropped. When I'm in Japan, I use Japanese all the time, obviously, and I'm always thinking about Japanese. I think there's also a mindset factor. When I'm in Japan, I'm always thinking about Japanese. How do I say this? How do I use this? Where can I speak Japanese? But when I'm in the US, I go back to English mode. So when I was in Japan, I actually met a lot of foreigners, not just Japanese people. I have tons of Japanese friends and foreign friends in Japan, so I hung out with all kinds of different people. I met a lot of influencers and YouTubers and those kind of people. Even just on the street, you really run into a lot of people if you just hang out like Shibuya, Shinjuku, and you just talk to random people a lot, you'll meet some really interesting people. So I enjoyed that a lot. And back to what I talked about at the beginning, I did meet Matt vs. Japan. I got a mutual friend to introduce me to him, and I have a lot of friends in the Immersion community, and Matt knows a lot of people too. So it was relatively easy. Me and Matt got along and hung out a couple times in person. And so yeah, that was an awesome experience, because Matt's the reason that I'm here learning Japanese through Immersion right now. And it was a really interesting experience to actually meet him in person and get to know him. In addition, some of the people I met were like Mobile Mali, some of you might know him, Hypothetical Tiger, a lot of people from the DJT, Moe kind of Immersion community. I met a couple other YouTubers, this guy from China, some streamers, And so something that I really noticed, the main thing that makes me want to actually move to Japan is it's much easier for me socially in Japan than it is here. Now, I'm not like a komusho, I have a lot of friends here, I have a community and stuff, which is mainly based around Japanese learning. But in Japan, America versus Japan, at least where I live, you don't really go on the street and talk to people. There's not, people aren't outside. Everyone, they're at home, get in their car, they go to work. And there's not a lot of interaction or opportunities to meet people. Whereas in Japan, it's just so much easier. There's, and if you're in the city, obviously, there's people everywhere. It's really easy to just talk to someone and become friends with them. I was in Shibuya, and there was this guy, he was doing he was advertising something, I don't know. And I thought he was doing Nampa. So I saw he was talking to some girls, and then he walked away, they turned him down or something. And then I just went up to him and made fun of him for failing at Nampa, and he's like, oh, it's not Nampa. And then we started talking, and then we spent a night together. It was a lot of fun. And those kind of interactions never really happen in the US for me. And I just feel more comfortable with people in Japan, Japanese people in general, and the whole environment there is much more suitable to me. Now, I feel like saying this, people are gonna make fun of me or something, loser back home or whatever, but even here, I have tons of friends, I have a great community here, but it's not quite the same. Japan is just a different beast. And I can use Japanese all the time, which is great. Another thing is that, to my knowledge, the Japanese job market is way less competitive. So in the US, it's extremely competitive for IT and stuff. And it's worldwide competition. Indians and people from all around the world, not just Indians, but people from all around the world want to get a job in the US, and it pays well. That really increases the bar to get a job and a decent job in the US. But I think from what I hear, from what I know and hear, it's much easier to get a decent job in Japan in IT and stuff like that. Of course, there's a visa issue, which is probably going to be difficult at first, but once you overcome that, if you have skills, you speak Japanese, you know what you're doing, then it's relatively easy to get a job there from what I hear. So that's another benefit. And while I have a lot of friends in the US, most of my social circle is probably in Japan at this point. And all of the people that I'm close to are all planning to move to Japan anyway. So we're all connected through Japanese learning. So I feel like the call of Japan. I feel like that's where I belong, and that's where I need to go. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. That's about all I have about my Japan trip. I'm definitely going to be uploading more videos on this channel soon. I'm going to be making some guides and stuff and trying to improve the quality of this channel, because I actually really want to grow this channel. That's one of my goals. And so I hope you stick with me.